Ooh, every now and then you get lucky in Call of Duty with some kills and you just gotta throw it up on YouTube. Check this out. 1, 2 frags. I knew they were camping on the rooftops over there, and I get both kills shooting the frags like Kobe Bryant. Count them again. 1, 2, and I get both kills, like I said, shooting them up like Kobe, which segues me into what I want to talk to you guys about today. And welcome guys, to my kickoff episode for my new series, Sports Talk with NESSINATOR1. In this series, you will hear me rant about anything and everything sports, guys, from player news to playoff predictions to just my thoughts on what's going on in sports in general. But, yeah, I know I gotta throw a but in there. I apologize in advance to any MLB or NHL fans that are subscribed to me, because those are the only two sports I really don't watch much of. I'm not saying I don't watch them at all, but I won't be covering those two sports in this series because I don't watch them enough to make an informed commentary about them, so I'll leave them out. Unless there's something huge that happens like a lockout, I won't be talking about those two sports too much. So again, I apologize. But the professional sports I will be covering in this series are the NBA, NFL, NCAA, and that pertains to basketball and football, of course, and boxing, professional boxing. Not MMA, but boxing. It's not that I don't like MMA. I don't mind MMA. I just, again, don't go out of my way to watch it, so I can't really make an informed commentary about it. And also, too, for you soccer fans out there, I don't watch much MLS either, or World Cup or anything. I'm not saying I don't watch it. Again, I just don't watch enough to make an informed commentary about it. Maybe every now and then I will, but for the most part I won't. So now, with all those quid pro quos out the way, guys, let's jump right into today's topic, which is the man, the myth, the Black Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant. And the question I have for you guys out there before I get started, because this is what I want you guys to think about while I'm talking to you guys, is do you guys think Kobe's championship days are over? I mean, the Los Angeles Lakers, and he is the all-time leading scorer for the Lakers, returned this season from a serious Achilles injury that kept him sidelined all of last season, I think, except -6 games. And his return to the roster this season has brought about so many questions about his ability still to play at a high level. Can he still be the Kobe Bryant we've all come to expect on the court? An explosive, clutch scoring threat, that could take over a game at any time he feels like. I mean, this season, Kobe's still averaging a league-leading 25.8 points per game, right above James Harden, which I think is around the same ballpark, 25.2 I think he's at, or something like that. However, you can just tell if you watch Lakers basketball, his explosiveness at the basket does seem a little bit hindered. I'm not sure if it's mental because of his injury, or if he's just not in basketball shape yet, having his little hiatus of a year off, and maybe he'll get more into form a little bit later after All-Star break. But you could tell he's depending a lot more on his jump shot this season, his versus his ability to explode to the basket. I mean, he's still getting to the line, still getting a lot of attempts, and his field goal percentage this season is his lowest in his 18-year career. I think it's at 39.1% or something like that. Now, you got to think about it, though. He's leading the league in points, 25.8 points per game. Now, is this because Kobe's having a great year or because the Lakers have no other real scoring threats on their roster? You think about it. Nash is out for the season. Boozer, he's never really been a high-scoring threat. Jeremy Lin, he's streaky at best. And if you read the rest of the team's roster, I think I have it right here. It plays out like a D-League team lineup. And you ask yourself, who are these guys? I mean, listen to some of these names. You got Jordan Clarkson, Ed Davis, Wayne Ellington, Xavier Henry, Wesley Johnson, Ryan Kelly, Ronnie Price, Jordan. I mean, it's just like, who are these guys? And this shows that the Lakers, of course, are in kind of a rebuilding stage. Can they get the talent to back up Kobe? He's only going to be there for 2 more seasons. But this season, they are 5-15, which is good enough for last in their conference and second to last in the entire Western Conference, only ahead of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And speaking of Minnesota, this is the worst start the Lakers have had since moving to Los Angeles. So they're really struggling right now. And to me personally, I think it's safe to assume the Lakers will not make the playoffs this season. And they better hope they don't lose Kobe during this season, or they're going to be right at the bottom of the league with the laughable 76ers, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with them and their losing streak and breaking records and losing. You don't want to be known for that. So, can they turn it around in these next 2 seasons? We'll have to wait and see. But Kobe's 36 years old, and if I'm not mistaken, Jordan was 36, correct me if I'm wrong, when he retired in 1998 from the Chicago Bulls, and he was 40 when he finally retired for good with the Washington Wizards. I'm pretty sure that's right. So it does beg the question, how many productive years does Kobe Bryant have left in him before he really starts to struggle on the court? And I'm not talking about struggling to be a good player, because even in his 40s, I think Kobe could still be a productive player in the NBA. But I'm talking about keeping up with the level of play that he's accustomed to. You know, that all-star level, putting up high points, leading a team, being the all-star on the team. You know, some say Jordan retired before he got to that stage where everyone would start to criticize his decline in productivity. You know, will Kobe do the same? And then also, though, you got to consider the fact Jordan never got injured as severely as Kobe did so late in his career. I mean, Kobe Bryant got this Achilles injury very late in his career. You know, if he would have got that maybe when he was 18, 19, 20, when he first started, the recovery for that would have been a lot more easier for him. But since he's so old, you know, is he going to be able to recover from that? And, you know, Kobe came into the league, what, 1996, or as I like to call it, the decade of Michael Jordan, because that's when the Bulls were still running things. And in the beginning, I didn't like Kobe. See, I'm sitting here kind of talking about Kobe because I think he's a great player now. You know, before, I wasn't too much of a Kobe fan. You couldn't even have called me a Kobe hater. Now, a lot of that had to do with him being compared to Michael Jordan. He was young, he was arrogant. But as the years have kind of gone on, and me living in Los Angeles and really watching him play, I've noticed something. You know, he is a competitor. He has this fierce drive to always win. He is a tryhard in the true essence of being a tryhard. And I just really have a lot of respect for his game, especially being a basketball player myself. You know, growing up, playing in high school, recreational, and college. And I just really admire and respect his game. And I'll never forget this, because, you know, growing up, like I said, Michael Jordan was my favorite player, but watching Kobe drop 81 points on the Toronto Raptors, I think it was in 2006 or 7, it was 2006, was by far one of the most impressive games I've ever seen out of any basketball player since I've been watching basketball. So, you know, that was just crazy. So with all that said, guys, do you think Kobe will win his 6th championship, tying Michael Jordan before he retires? And if so, will it be as a Laker, though, or will he be wearing a different team's jersey, playing a different role? So you got to ask yourself that question, too. Because, you know, will he win his 6th championship? Will it be with the Lakers? And if not, do you think he'll go to another team after his contract's up and he's a free agent? Do you think he'll go and be a role player on another team and win a 6th championship? But you guys got to remember this. All I know is this. Kobe is a fierce competitor and a 5-time NBA champion. So to count him out would be foolish. But I want to know from you guys out there what you guys feel about Kobe. Do you think his best days are behind him, or do you think he'll pull it together and win that 6th ring before he retires? You guys, thanks for viewing. Thanks for all your subscribes, all your views, your likes, and everything. This is NESSINATOR1, and I appreciate it all. And I'm out.